What's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to talk about my experience at Flashback Weekend Chicago Horror Con 2019. Yes, I was at Flashback again this year, my third year in a row going, ever since 2017, if you can't count. But yeah, Flashback Weekend in Chicago. Well, you know, it's a convenient one for me to go to because Chicago isn't that far away. I'm in Michigan. I can't go to any of the ones, out by, Jersey or, even going to Indianapolis or something for like, Horror Hound is the one I'd like to go to, but just with we usually use like the Amtrak train for these kinds of things and stuff like that, so the route with that gets kind of overly complicated and it takes like a day and stuff like that. Yeah, you can drive, but but I definitely love going to these things. I mean, I would if we really want to undertake it, because I really won't want to miss it. I'm sure we'll go to one of those some year. But just Chicago, we found like a really sweet way of doing it, sweet, nice and easy. And a Flashback, it's always been good to us. The people there are usually really friendly. So I love going there every year, whether they have repeat guests or not. Some people get quite greedy about that, I've noticed. I mean, I'm a part of the Facebook group. I'm not like calling out anyone in particular, but I've just seen people complain about, oh wait, why are you having Robert Englund there again? You had him, a couple years ago or whatever. He's Freddy Krueger, man. there always should be a place for him there. I mean, yeah, maybe if they could, throw in some different guests, to support that. But having Freddy Krueger as a main guest should never be a bad thing. He's always going to bring in people. Just like if they were to have Bruce Campbell again or something, he's always going to bring in people. He played an icon of horror. Yeah, I actually did meet, we'll talk about some of the people I met first, and then we'll show some of the merchandise I picked up, which was actually a good bit this year. I had a lot of fun with that. The dealer room, it's not like a massive convention floor. In fact, it's probably small, for some people, but it's pretty jam-packed. I mean, and it's not cramped either. I don't know how they pull it off. They've gotten better and better with that every year. There's actually quite a lot in there in terms of dealers and what they have, from Blu-rays to merch to, custom jewelry, of course, figures, new and old. I could go on and on. It's just incredible. Different vendors, ones, like a big clothing merchandisers and stuff that, put out, custom horror stuff like terror threads and such. I can't just begin to describe how much there actually is there. It's just really cool to walk around. Masks and things like that, custom made, props, actual screen use props like they had from Ash vs. Evil Dead this year, which is really nice, which they had this year, or in 2018 when I had Dana DiLorenzo and Ray Santiago there. They mainly had some screen used clothing from, Kelly and Pablo. This year they had a bunch of Ash stuff, which is good. But yeah, so we'll talk about Robert Englund first, though, because Robert Englund is someone I actually had the pleasure of meeting already in 2017, the first one we went to. The year I met my favorite actress of all time, Catherine Isabel. I hope to, meet her again at some point. But yeah, we met him on the 2017 con. But because of other things we were trying to do, we could not afford a professional photo op with him that time. And I was always planning, okay, next time I go to a con that he's at, I'm definitely going to get a professional photo done. And we did this year, and it's fantastic. Sorry about the camera. Yeah, I actually purchased a photo with him with a boiler room as a background. He always has on display when he's signing autographs. And when I got time, like around 8:45, 9 o'clock, they made some more space and set up the cameras and everything. So it turned out really nice, I think. So there's me and my girlfriend there. She wanted to be in the photos this year, which I had to let her, I suppose. She's become a fan of this stuff too, so it's no problem. Yeah, I can't say enough good things about Robert Englund. He's incredible. You know, he's in his 70s now. Yet whenever I see him, he just comes across so nice, so eager for his fans, and he still has all his passion and energy about his work as well. If you hear him talk, he endlessly praises and gives credit to, you know, different people he's worked with, and he has some really nice stories. If you read his autobiography, you know, there's some fun stuff in there as well. You know, and then I've had that you know, sort of 11x17 Nightmare poster signed by him, you know, from 2017. I'm sure next time I see him, I'll get him to sign again. He is a bit expensive. I think he's like at about like 100 per signature now, and I get that's a bit much for some people. But you gotta get him at least once on that, and he's just a pleasure to see too. So I honestly think he's worth doing it again. He is just really cool, and they had a screening of the original Nightmare, and they had Robert on stage to talk for you know, like a half an hour beforehand, and just some really great insight. And again, you can just tell how much he loves the work, and you know, how much he still cares about what he's done and what he's doing now, and what he's built with the fan base because of it. So yeah, Bruce Campbell was the big one we were meeting this year that we hadn't yet. I was very excited because if you guys saw my 2017 video, I had already met again Dana DiLorenzo and Ray Santiago, Kelly and Pablo from Ash vs. Evil Dead. You know, absolutely loved Dana DiLorenzo. You know, I posted that individual, you know, YouTube video with her. You know, she let me record. You know, Ray was pretty nice too. So I was very eager for the day when I'd have a chance to meet Bruce Campbell himself. You know, because you know, I need to fill out that Ash vs. Evil Dead poster over there, which I did. I forgot to put up a picture of it, but you can see his signature right there. Hey Jacob, you know, Bruce Campbell, Ash. You know, simple, but he had a ton of people to get through. He was there with Sam Raimi. I could not afford to get his signature as well this year, but I did go to the panel they had with him and Sam. Ted Raimi was there too, but he had to leave early to catch a flight, so he did this you know, few-minute intro, and then he left, which they you know, scolded him for later during the panel. Yeah, they did have the autographs, I think, a little bit more well organized this year, at least for our headliner guests, you know, like Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi. Of course, big for Sam Raimi to be there because, you know, he did the Spider-Man trilogy, the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie being still probably my favorite Spider-Man movie by far. Yeah, I really like 2. 3 is not even my least favorite Spider-Man movie, so I always like the work he did there. And of course, he did the Evil Dead movies and some others. So it was great to get his insight, and Bruce Campbell's sort of trademark sarcasm and, you know, humor, that sort of big persona you know him for if you're a fan of him. So their panel was a lot of fun, one of the best ones I've ever been to. I didn't even ask a question, I just watched other people try and talk to him, and it was just so entertaining with that. But yeah, the autographs were more organized because of the what they had. They had timestamps for everyone that's getting an autograph, so they basically had like groups of people to get to have their stuff signed, you know, broken up a bit, you know, into like brackets basically. So it wasn't like just like one long line, you know, during the whole day. So I think that worked out a little bit better. At least from what I know, you're always gonna have people that had issues, but generally I think it was for the best. And yeah, Bruce Campbell himself, I only got to talk to him for like a minute because, again, even though they broke it up, there were still a lot of people, so you kind of have to be considerate to that. But he was really nice. He was really friendly. You know, I told him my name, Jacob, and he's like, la dee da. And again, if you know Bruce Campbell, you gotta know his humor, you gotta know his, you know, kind of shtick. If you're picked on by Bruce Campbell, or especially if you're like roasted by him at a panel and you're trying to ask a question, it's an honor. You know, it's a part of his thing. So don't take it personally. He's a pretty cool guy when it comes down to it. And again, he signed my Ash vs. Evil Dead poster, which is awesome. Now I just gotta get Lucy Lawless and Ted if I ever see him come back around. But yeah, besides that, I have it filled out, and that's pretty damn awesome. Loved Ash vs. Evil Dead. And I also mentioned to him that my whole family loved watching Burn Notice, you know, which is a really good you know, spy drama as well. I think I should check out if you're a fan of his too. Yeah, he was really good. And I also met, I should probably pull this out now, I also talked to, for a few minutes, Robert Kurtzman. He's a, you know, pretty big time special effects and director, special effects in particular. He's done a lot of big movies over the years, horror movies and otherwise over the decades. Since like the 70s and 80s, I think it was. He's done some nightmare stuff. He did Wishmaster. He even went into just other big movies of the genre. I could read off his whole filmography right now, but I won't. He was pretty cool because you could bring your own item and he'd only charge you $10 for it, so that was pretty nice. So I couldn't really pass that up, getting such a big stamp. And the guy was really, again, insightful too, and very, very open to what you had to say about any of his work. So I had him sign this, print of the Wishmaster poster, which I reviewed not too long ago, which is one I like quite a bit. It's still a pretty unique and fun, horror character. I think it adds some nice style to it, and of course some good makeup. Yeah, so that's pretty good. Make your wish. So there you go. Kurtzman's a pretty cool guy. Alright. And yeah, that's all I really met this year. I did want to see Heather Langenkamp Tuesday night and some others, but sometimes that's just the way it works out when you want to meet people and also have some spending money, which you really want to at these kinds of things. So I'm sure I'll see them in the rotation again. I did go on I did go to a panel with Heather Langenkamp and some of the Elm Street ladies again, which I did a couple years ago as well, which is fun as always. And it sort of makes up for it a little bit if you don't meet them every year to go to something like that, to at least hear them talk, maybe get a question if you can. So it kind of still works out on that end. Excuse me for a second, guys. Alright, yeah, I just started thundering here. My dog sort of gets scared of that, so excuse you guys if you hear anything. That was a single one supposed to last tonight. We've getting a lot of shitty weather lately. It's either really hot or it's storming. Or both. But yeah, then I can run through you guys what I picked up real quick. Probably not going to be as long as I planned on. Just a second here. Alright, well, one thing I'm wearing, you guys know how much I'm into subspecies if you have been watching my channel. So I finally got a subspecies t-shirt, which I was going to order from the Full Moon site anyway, but found it there at the Full Moon table they had up. Really nice, I like it a lot. It's the first film, I think it made for a good looking shirt though, so I picked that. And a really cool find is this sort of retro Radu figure here. Of course they don't make these anymore. I think they actually came out in the 90s. 98. I did it with some other Full Moon figures. But yeah, really cool. Radu has just become, honestly, one of my all-time favorite horror characters, villains, whatever you want to say. Right up there, some of the best. Absolutely can't wait for Subspecies 5 next year. In fact, I actually have a pretty nice surprise coming up. I did another interview actually with Denise Duff this time over the phone. Of course, Michelle in the Subspecies movies that I should be going up within the next week or so. Really, really cool person. And yeah, besides that, I've already seen all the films, but I round out my actual collection of them. And I finally got the first Subspecies movie and Subspecies 2 Bloodstone on Blu-ray. So I have all the movies in my collection now. Very happy about that. Very, very nice. Oh yeah, and I have it over by my other stack of movies I need to watch, but I also bought a copy of Alien Apocalypse, which is one of Bruce Campbell's movies, so I can forward to watching that. And I also picked up this new neck, sort of re-release, but sort of remade version, excuse me, of the Freddy vs. Jason figure, which they released years ago as the Cult Classics line, but that figure's either expensive now or something else. But they basically added more articulation to this version. I was very excited about this figure. I've been wanting that Cult Classics version for years, so it's good to have this version. It comes with more accessories anyway and everything. It's really, really cool. I always liked how Jason was written in the movie. I know some people don't, but I found him to be most interesting in this movie, which is a minority opinion, I know. But very happy to have this, and met Ken Kersinger last year, so kind of adds to it. If I see him again, I'll probably have him signed inside the window box and everything. Very happy to finally have this figure. Looks pretty damn good. And yeah, I picked up a Kill Bill set just because I've always been curious to see those movies. I don't know if I really need to show that. It was cheap and it had both of them. I meant to pick up Night of the Living Dead, the remake with Tony Todd, who was also there, but I left and I had forgot. That's what happens. There's just so much stuff there, guys. And yeah, that was actually about it, I guess. Also, this Godzilla shirt, which I'm actually having washed right now, but it's a very sweet, sort of comic booky looking version of Godzilla battling Ghidorah. Really cool color pop on that. And then the last thing I got, which I'll show real quick, is this Terrifier shirt by Terror Threads. Really happy that sequel is moving forward. Very, very cool looking. I really love it. Not one you might want to reconsider wearing in public, because there's a pretty violent point there, which I'm surprised I put on the shirt. But very cool nonetheless. Art the Clown's a very cool horror villain. So I really can't wait to see more of him. Happy to have that. I meant to get one of these when they first got released by the team there, but it just wasn't the right time for me money-wise, but I was glad to find it at their table again this year. And again, I gotta give all the credit in the world to my girlfriend. We do favors for each other each time we go to these things. It's like if we can, like I'll buy something for her, she'll buy something for me, but she is very generous this year, helping me get some of those things and still having a chance to meet who I really wanted to anyway. So yeah, let me guys thought. Did you guys go to Flashback as well this year? Let me know let me know what you got. How did things go with you and Campbell, you and Freddie? Did you see Candyman too? So yeah, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Oh yeah, one more thing though. They didn't do any outdoor screenings this year, which is a little disappointing. I know they had some issues with that last year when they were showing, Fright Night and everything, with it being blown around and down by the wind. But I would have preferred it. They were showing some movies inside, but they had basically a bunch of like these pull-down screens, and it just didn't really come across as well. It's like I decided just to, okay, if I'm going to watch Night of the Creeps, I kind of want to see it for the first time, my own time, I guess, in my room on my TV. So it just didn't have the same draw, I think. It's still cool that they had all the guests there and stuff. So yeah, peace.